Welcome to our YouTube channel, where we dive deep into the fascinating world of numismatics, uncovering hidden treasures and rare coins that can turn pocket change into a fortune. And today we're exploring one of the most intriguing mysteries in modern coin collecting, the 1997 P. Jefferson nickel, a seemingly ordinary 5-cent piece that, due to a series of rare minting errors and mistakes, could theoretically command a jaw-dropping value of $999 million, a figure that sparks curiosity and excitement among collectors and enthusiasts alike. So let's embark on this journey to understand what makes this coin so extraordinarily valuable, delving into the specific errors, the minting process, historical context, and the tantalizing possibilities that elevate its worth to such an astronomical level. The 1997 P. Jefferson nickel, minted at the Philadelphia Mint, is part of the long-running Jefferson nickel series, which began in 1938 and continues to this day, featuring the iconic portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and his Monticello estate on the reverse. But what sets certain 1997 P. nickels apart is not their design but the mistakes made during their production, errors that transform an ordinary coin into a numismatic unicorn, coveted by collectors for their rarity and uniqueness. To understand why a 1997 P. nickel could be worth $999 million, we must first explore the minting process and the types of errors that can occur, as these imperfections are the heart of its value. The U.S. Mint produces billions of coins annually, and in 1997, the Philadelphia Mint struck over 470 million Jefferson nickels, making it a common coin in circulation. Yet within this massive output, mistakes happen, and these errors, though rare, can significantly increase a coin's value, especially when they're dramatic, unique, or occur in combination. Minting errors are broadly categorized into three types: planchet errors, die errors, and strike errors, each of which could contribute to the hypothetical $999 million valuation of a 1997 P. nickel, and we'll examine each category in detail to uncover the possibilities. Planchet errors occur when the blank metal disc, or planchet, used to create the coin is flawed before it's struck, and one of the most valuable planchet errors is a coin struck on the wrong planchet, such as a 1997 P. nickel struck on a planchet intended for another denomination, like a dime, quarter, or even a foreign coin, which the U.S. Mint sometimes produces under contract. Imagine a 1997 P. nickel struck on a dime planchet, which is smaller and composed of a copper-nickel-clad material, resulting in a coin that's noticeably thinner and lighter than a standard nickel, weighing approximately 2.27 grams instead of the usual 5 grams, with Jefferson's portrait and Monticello squeezed onto a smaller surface, creating a striking visual anomaly that collectors prize for its rarity. Such errors are exceedingly rare because the Mint employs rigorous quality control, but mistakes slip through, and a 1997 P. nickel on a dime planchet could fetch tens of thousands of dollars at auction, though not yet $999 million, so we must consider even rarer possibilities. Another planchet error is a clip planchet, where the blank is improperly cut from the metal sheet, resulting in a coin with a curved or straight missing section, like a bite taken out of the edge, and for a 1997 P. nickel, a dramatically clipped planchet, especially one missing a significant portion while retaining clear design elements, could command a premium, perhaps valued at $500 to $5,000 depending on the extent of the clip and the coin's condition. A more extreme planchet error is a blank planchet, where the coin is struck without any design, leaving a smooth, featureless disc, or a partially blank planchet where only faint traces of the design are visible, and while these errors are collectible, they typically don't reach the $1 million mark unless combined with other factors. So let's explore die errors, which can elevate a coin's value further. Die errors occur when the dies used to strike the coin are flawed, and one of the most famous die errors is the doubled die, where the design on the die is impressed multiple times at slightly different angles, creating a noticeable doubling of letters, numbers, or other elements on the struck coin. For a 1997 P. nickel, a double die obverse, with clear doubling on Jefferson's profile, the date, or inscriptions like "Liberty" or "In God We Trust," would be a significant find, as double dies are highly sought after, with some examples from other years, like the 1955 double die Lincoln cent, valued at $1,500 to $125,000 depending on condition. A 1997 P. nickel with a prominent double die, especially if the doubling is dramatic and visible to the naked eye, could command thousands of dollars, but to reach $999 million, the doubling would need to be exceptionally rare and paired with other errors or historical significance. Another die error is a repunched mint mark, where the P. mint mark on the 1997 P. nickel is struck multiple times, creating a layered or shadowed effect, and while repunched mint marks were more common in earlier decades when mint marks were hand-punched, by 1997, modern minting techniques made such errors rare, so a 1997 P. nickel with a repunched P would be a notable find. potentially worth $100 to $1,000 depending on the clarity of the error. A more severe die error is a die crack, where the die itself cracks during use, leaving raised lines or ridges on the coin, and a 1997 P nickel with a major die crack, especially one creating a unique pattern or missing design elements, could be valued at $50 to $500, but again, this alone wouldn't justify a $999 million price tag unless it's part of a larger error combination. Strike errors, the third category, occur during the actual striking process, when the planchet and die interact, and one of the most visually striking errors is an off-center strike, where the planchet is misaligned, causing the design to be shifted off the coin's center, leaving a portion of the planchet blank. A 1997 P nickel struck 50% off-center, with half of Jefferson's portrait and the date missing but still legible, could be worth $100 to $1,000, while a 90% off-center strike, where only a sliver of the design remains, might fetch $2,000 or more, especially if the date is visible, as collectors highly value coins with intact dates. A broad strike error, where the coin is struck without the retaining collar, results in a wider, thinner coin with distorted edges, and a 1997 P nickel with a broad strike could be valued at $200 to $2,000, depending on the extent of the distortion and the coin's condition. A multiple strike error, where the coin is struck more than once, creating overlapping images, is even rarer, and a 1997 P nickel with a double or triple strike, showing Jefferson's portrait or Monticello duplicated, could command $1,000 to $10,000, as such errors are scarce and visually dramatic. Perhaps the most valuable strike error is a brockage, where a previously struck coin sticks to the die and impresses its image onto the next planchet, creating a mirror image design on one side of the coin, such as a 1997 P nickel with Jefferson's portrait in cues on the reverse instead of Monticello, and such an error, especially in pristine condition, could be worth $5,000 to $50,000 due to its rarity and striking appearance. To reach a $999 million valuation, however, a 1997 P nickel would likely need to exhibit a combination of these errors, creating a one-of-a-kind coin with unparalleled rarity, such as a double-struck, off-center nickel on a dime planchet with a double die obverse and a brockage reverse, a scenario so improbable it would be a numismatic miracle, akin to finding a needle in a haystack within a field of haystacks. The value of such a coin would also depend on its condition, graded on the Sheldon scale from 1 to 70, with uncirculated coins in MS 65 or higher commanding the highest premiums, as collectors seek pristine examples with sharp details and original luster. For a 1997 P nickel to be worth $999 million, it would need to be in gem uncirculated condition, with no wear, scratches, or blemishes, showcasing the error in all its glory, and it would likely need to be certified by a reputable grading service like PCGS or NGC, which authenticate and encapsulate coins, adding credibility and value. The historical context of 1997 also plays a role, as the Philadelphia Mint was producing coins under modern, automated processes, making errors less common than in earlier eras when dies were hand-punched or planchets were less uniform, so any significant error from 1997 is inherently rarer due to improved quality control, which reduces the likelihood of mistakes slipping into circulation. Additionally, the coin's provenance, or documented history, could elevate its value, such as if it were part of a famous collection or discovered in a notable event, like a hoard or a publicized find, adding a layer of mystique and desirability. The $999 million figure, while speculative, reflects the potential for a perfect storm of errors, rarity, condition, and market demand, driven by collectors willing to pay extraordinary sums for unique pieces, as seen in cases like the 1943 bronze Lincoln cent, which sold for $1.7 million due to its wartime error of being struck on a copper planchet instead of steel. For a 1997 P nickel, a similar wartime significance is absent, but a unique error combination could drawburgoise its value, as the numismatic community thrives on rarity and exclusivity, and a coin with multiple dramatic errors could become a legend in its own right. Another possibility is a transitional error, where a 1997 P nickel is struck on a planchet from a different era or composition, such as a silver wartime nickel planchet from the 1940s, an error so rare it would defy explanation but could theoretically exist due to mint mishandling, potentially valued at hundreds of thousands or more due to its historical impossibility. The market for error coins is also influenced by auction dynamics, where competitive bidding can drive prices to extraordinary levels, as seen with coins like the 1913 Liberty Head nickel, one of which sold for over $3 million, suggesting that a 1997 P nickel with a unique error profile could approach such heights in a frenzied market. Furthermore, the coins appeal to specialized collectors, such as those focusing on Jefferson nickels or modern mint errors, would increase its desirability, as these collectors often pay premiums for coins that complete their sets or stand out as unique. The possibility of a 1997 p nickel being a mule coin, struck with dies from different denominations or designs, such as a nickel obverse paired with a quarter reverse, would also skyrocket its value, as mules are among the rarest error types, with some examples fetching millions at auction. The combination of rarity, condition, provenance, and market excitement could theoretically push a 1997 p nickel's value toward the $999 million mark, especially if it becomes a cultural phenomenon, like the 1804 silver dollar, known as the King of American Coins, valued for its rarity and historical allure. However, no documented 1997 p nickel has ever reached such a valuation, suggesting that $999 million is more of a hyperbolic benchmark for an unimaginable error, but the numismatic world is full of surprises, and a coin with a perfect blend of errors, pristine condition, and a compelling story could come close, making it a dream find for collectors scouring their change. The allure of such a coin lies not only in its monetary value but also in the thrill of discovery, as every 1997 p nickel in circulation could potentially be the one, hiding in plain sight, waiting to be recognized as a numismatic masterpiece worth a fortune. So keep checking your pocket change, because you never know when you might stumble upon a $999 million treasure. Next, welcome back to our YouTube channel, where we dive into the thrilling world of coin collecting, uncovering hidden gems that transform ordinary pocket change into extraordinary treasures, and today we're exploring the astonishing tale of the 2006 p Jefferson nickel, a humble 5-cent coin that, due to a rare combination of minting errors and mistakes, could theoretically command an jaw-dropping value of $888 million, sparking excitement among numismatists and casual collectors alike. So, let's embark on this fascinating journey to uncover the specific errors, minting mishaps, historical context, and tantalizing possibilities that could elevate this seemingly common coin to such an astronomical worth. The 2006 p Jefferson nickel, struck at the Philadelphia Mint, is part of the long-running Jefferson nickel series, which began in 1938 and features Thomas Jefferson's portrait on the obverse and his Monticello estate on the reverse. But what makes certain 2006 p nickels extraordinary are the errors that occurred during their production, turning an everyday coin into a numismatic marvel coveted for its rarity and uniqueness. In 2006, the Philadelphia Mint produced over 693 million Jefferson nickels, making them abundant in circulation, yet within this vast output, rare mistakes slip through, and these imperfections can drastically increase a coin's value, especially when they are dramatic, unique, or occur in combination. So let's delve into the types of errors, planchet, die, and strike, that could contribute to a hypothetical $888 million valuation. Planchet errors occur before the coin is struck, when the blank metal disc, or planchet, is flawed, and one of the most valuable planchet errors is a coin struck on the wrong planchet, such as a 2006 p nickel struck on a dime planchet, which is smaller, thinner, and made of copper nickel clad, weighing about 2.27 grams instead of the standard nickel's 5 grams, resulting in a coin with Jefferson's portrait and Monticello squeezed onto a smaller surface, creating a striking visual anomaly that collectors prize for its scarcity. Such an error is incredibly rare due to the mint's stringent quality controls, but occasional mishaps occur, and a 2006 p nickel on a dime planchet could fetch $1,000 to $10,000 at auction, though this alone wouldn't reach $888 million, so we must consider rarer possibilities. Another planchet error is a clipped planchet, where the blank is improperly cut from the metal sheet, leaving a coin with a curved or straight missing section, like a bite taken out of the edge, and for a 2006 p nickel, a significantly clipped planchet, especially one missing 20% or more while retaining clear design elements, could be worth $500 to $5,000, depending on the clip size and the coin's condition. A blank planchet error, where the coin is struck without any design, resulting in a smooth disc, or a partially blank planchet with faint traces of the design, is also collectible, potentially valued at $100 to $1,000, but these errors alone don't justify an $888 million price tag unless combined with other anomalies. Improperly annealed planchets, where the planchet is exposed to excessive heat or cold during preparation, can result in unusual colors like black, gray, orange, or yellow, and a 2006 p nickel with a vivid, improper annealing error on both sides, graded MS63, sold for $710 at a Great Collections auction in 2022, showing that collectors value these visually striking coins, though higher-grade examples could fetch more. A missing clad layer error, where the copper-nickel outer layer fails to bond with the copper core, exposing the reddish core, is another rare planchet error, and a 2006 D nickel with this error sold for $580 on eBay in 2021, but a 2006 P example in pristine condition could command $1,000 or more due to its rarity. Die errors, the second category, occur when the dies used to strike the coin are flawed, and one of the most sought-after die errors is the double die, where the design is impressed multiple times at slightly different angles, creating visible doubling of letters, numbers, or design elements. For a 2006 P nickel, a double die obverse, with clear doubling on "In God We Trust, Liberty," or the date, is highly collectible, and a 2006 D nickel with a pronounced double die obverse sold for $950 at a heritage auction sale in 2023, suggesting a 2006 P equivalent could fetch similar or higher prices if the doubling is dramatic and visible without magnification. Die chip errors, where small pieces break off the die, leaving holes that fill with metal and create raised bumps on the coin, are also notable, and a 2006 P nickel with multiple die chip errors on the reverse sold for $935 on eBay in 2021, with larger or more unique chips potentially increasing the value further. Die cracks, where the die fractures and leaves raised lines on the coin, are another die error, and a 2006 D nickel with a die crack across Jefferson's face sold for $440 in 2023, but a 2006 P nickel with a more dramatic crack, especially across a prominent feature like Jefferson's portrait or Monticello, could be worth $500 to $2,000, depending on its visibility and condition. A repunched mint mark, where the P mint mark is struck multiple times, creating a layered effect, is less common in 2006 due to modern minting techniques, but if discovered, such an error could be valued at $100 to $1,000, adding to the coin's appeal. Strike errors, the third category, occur during the striking process, and one of the most visually striking is an off-center strike, where the planchet is misaligned, causing the design to shift, leaving a blank crescent on the coin. A 2006 P nickel with a 35% off-center strike, where Jefferson's portrait is shifted and part of Monticello is missing but the date remains intact, could be worth $500 to $5,000, as collectors highly value coins with legible dates, and a more extreme 50% or 75% off-center strike could fetch $10,000 or more. A broad strike error, where the coin is struck without the retaining collar, results in a wider, thinner coin with distorted edges, and a 2006 P nickel with a broad strike could be valued at $200 to $2,000, depending on the extent of the distortion. A multiple strike error, where the coin is struck 2 or more times, creating overlapping images, is even rarer, and a 2006 P nickel with a double or triple strike, showing Jefferson's portrait or Monticello duplicated, could command $1,000 to $15,000 due to its scarcity and visual impact. A struck-through error, where a foreign object like grease, cloth, or debris is struck between the die and planchet, leaving an impression or missing design elements, is highly collectible, and a 2006 P nickel with a dramatic struck-through error on the obverse sold for $1,050 in 2023, with more pronounced errors potentially worth more. A blockage error, where a previously struck coin sticks to the die and imprints a mirror image onto the next planchet, is one of the rarest strike errors, and a 2006 D nickel with a blockage error, featuring an incused Jefferson portrait on the reverse instead of Monticello, would be a fascinating find, potentially valued at $5,000 to $50,000 due to its dramatic appearance. A misaligned die error, where the obverse and reverse designs are not properly aligned, can also increase value, and a 2006 P nickel with a significant misaligned die sold for $1,020 in 2022, with more extreme misalignments fetching higher prices. To reach an $888 million valuation, a 2006 P nickel would likely need a combination of multiple errors, such as a double-struck, off-center coin on a dime planchet with a double die obverse, a missing clad layer, and a blockage reverse, creating a one-of-a-kind numismatic anomaly so rare it would be a legend in the collecting world. The coin's condition is critical, as collectors pay premiums for uncirculated coins graded MS65 or higher on the Sheldon scale, with sharp details, original luster, and no wear, and a 2006 P nickel with such errors would need to be in gem uncirculated condition, certified by PCGS or NGC, to approach such a valuation. The historical context of 2006 adds to the intrigue, as the Philadelphia Mint introduced a new forward-facing Jefferson portrait designed by Jamie Franke, while retaining Felix Schlag's Monticello reverse, and this transitional year saw increased scrutiny of dies and planchets, making errors less common but more significant when they occurred. The Mint's modern, automated processes reduced the frequency of errors compared to earlier decades, so any dramatic error from 2006 is inherently rarer, increasing its value. Provenance, or the coin's documented history, could further elevate its worth, such as if it were part of a famous collection or discovered in a publicized event, adding a layer of mystique. Auction dynamics also play a role, as competitive bidding can drive prices to extraordinary levels, as seen with coins like the 1913 Liberty Head nickel, which sold for over $3 million, suggesting that a 2006 P nickel with a unique error profile could approach such heights in a heated market. The coin's appeal to specialized collectors, such as those focusing on Jefferson nickels or modern mint errors, would further increase its desirability, as these collectors often pay premiums for coins that complete their sets or stand out as unique. A mule error, where a 2006 P nickel is struck with dies from different denominations, such as a nickel obverse paired with a quarter reverse, would be exceptionally rare and could fetch millions, as mules are among the most valuable error types. The $888 million figure, while speculative, reflects the potential for a perfect storm of errors, rarity, condition, and market demand, driven by collectors' passion for exclusivity. And while no 2006 P nickel has reached such a valuation, the numismatic world thrives on the possibility of such a find, making every 2006 P nickel in circulation a potential treasure waiting to be discovered.